What's up, guys? It's me, CJ, coming to you with my first tutorial. Woohoo! This tutorial will be on how I render hair, and you can follow along. I will post the brush settings that I use, and please note that most of the time when I render hair, I render in Paint Tool size. Sometimes I render in Makeup Studio, but it depends on how I want the hair to look. Most of the time I will render it in Paint Tool size. And like I said, I will post those settings either here on DA or on Facebook. But yeah, first and foremost, before we get down into the tutorial, I just want to say thank you all for watching this video. If you're subbed to me or if you're just passing through, thank you for at least checking out the video. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you do sub, and I hope you stick around if you already subbed. So yeah, let's get down to business. Alright, as you can see, over here in my folders panel, I have just a basic like shape to my hair. Like, it's just how I want the hair to look overall in the picture. I just blotted in like a general shape of the hair. This one was pretty simple because I just wanted the hair to just lay down. It's not billowing or blowing or floating anywhere. It's just standard lay down. And I also have a shade layer that I'm going to clip on top of the basic base the basic base of the hair. So I'm going to do that right now. By the way, I pre-recorded this already, so if it looks kind of off, I'm sorry. So yeah, well, I pre-recorded the visual, not the voice, but yeah. So yeah, clipped on a shade layer onto my base of my hair, and for right now I'm just going to start putting in just basic shadows. And you can do this with any brush setting, it doesn't matter, any type of brush, because right now we're just putting in shadows and light right now. So the light source, as far as for this picture in whole, is the light source is going to be behind her. So most of the hair will be in shadow, like right up in here by her face, definitely by down by her back and everything like that. It'll all be in shadow. So yeah, I'm gonna I'll probably speed this up a little bit, so you know you won't be sitting here the whole time. But yeah, I'm basically just blotting in basic shadows and whatnot. Alright, so I've gone ahead and put in basic shadows where I want them to go, and I'm going to move down the opacity. I'm gonna turn down the shadow basically. And the next thing we do is we get another layer, clip it, and sometimes I do a luminosity layer to blot in like the core lights, but I think this time I use overlay because I kind of want to keep the color in the hair. Her hair is like a very, very deep dark purple. So yeah, I'm gonna use an overlay layer, and I'm gonna like put in like the basic highlights and lights or whatever you want to call it in this area. And yeah, I will speed this up as well because I'm going to sit there like that. Alrighty then, now that we have put in the basic lights, or basic highlights or lights to the hair, we're gonna move down the opacity again, because we don't want that shit to be looking super duper bright. Okay, we just don't want that to happen, because it looks kind of weird. So we're gonna turn down the opacity. Now that we have our basic highlights and shadows, we are going to merge down on our base hair layer, sorry. Pretty much after that, we can clip on a luminosity layer and just go ahead and put in some bright highlights, some brights. And with the overlay layer, you can leave it at normal opacity, or you can turn it down. With the luminosity here, I turn it down just a smidge, just so it won't be super duper bright. And after I feel comfortable on how I want the shadows and the lights to work in the hair, I merge it down again, and it's all on one layer. And there we have our basic setup for the highlights, the lights, and the shadows of the hair. And yeah, just basic just setup of that. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I meant to say the light would cast from behind, and it would frame her. It would frame her hair, like it'll be a subtle like halo around her head, and then on the hair itself, like towards the edge of her head would be the most in the lighted area, and towards going in the middle would be darkest. There would be some highlights here and there, but most of the lighted area would be like around her head, effectively framing her head. Alrighty then, now that we got that all set up, go ahead and look at the brush settings. There should be a link in the description box. It's an acrylic brush, or acrylic base brush that I think I found the settings somewhere else. I can't remember, but I have the settings down in the description box. Just check it out, and because this is what we're going to use to make that magic happen. Alright, ready? Set up your brush. Okay, because here we go. Alright, so basically we first of all, I like to preserve opacity on this layer, and just so I can keep the shape of the overall shape and flow of the hair. Because I mean, if you start, I mean, you can do it, but far as for me, because I guess I'm just silly like that, I tend to go crazy with my brush, and stuff is just going flying everywhere. So in order to stop myself from doing that, I put it on preserve opacity. And basically from there, I just start grinding in. What's really cool about this this acrylic brush is that it drags the color wherever you want it. It's like, as you're watching right now, like the highlights are going where I want the highlights to go. The parts of the like the darkened hair, like in the back, goes where I want to go. It's a pretty, in my opinion, pretty amazing brush, and it helps me so much when I'm rendering hair. So yeah, it's a pretty nice brush setting. Again, I think I found this brush setting somewhere. I can't remember though. So, but here I am. I'm sharing it with you, and if you know where I got the settings from, then hooray. But I don't remember. But yeah, I'm sharing. Sharing is caring. So yeah, this is basically just a grinding part. and I will speed this up and we'll move on with the tutorial. Alrighty, so now that I've gotten like most of the hair and like the flow that I wanted to go, I put the brush on like a smaller like brush size, and I just go throughout and go ahead and start adding like individual strands, you know, to make the hair look more like hair instead of just this big blocky or blotchy patch. And I'm still grinding, but the hair, as you can see, it's coming together. It is coming together. You know, the lights are where the lights where I generally want them to be. Shadows are where the shadows supposed to be. And it's coming together nicely. It is. We still got a little ways to go, but that's okay. That's all right. And by this point, I've taken it off preserve opacity, and I sometimes throughout the process I might turn it back on. I don't know. Sometimes I switch it on and off, you know, just to keep myself guided and stuff like that. I mean, again, you don't have to do that. No, you don't have to do it the way I'm doing how I render hair at all. I'm just showing you. And like I said, with the preserve opacity, I just do it to keep myself guided. That's all I do. So, yeah. That's what I do. Because that's how it be. Okay, so as you can see now, the hair, for the most part, more or less looks like hair. But you can tell, like, the hair color is very dull. It's not vibrant, and it just looks like hair, but the hair color looks flat. So what we're going to do now is we are going to clip another layer over this layer. It's going to be an overlay. Sometimes I might use shade, but as far as for this picture, I'm going to use overlay. Since the hair color overall is like a dark purple, I'm going to use like a very, very dark purplish violet blue, or whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to deepen the shadows. That's all I'm doing for right now. Deepening the shadows. Wherever I think shadows need to go, that's where they're going to go. And most of the shadows are going to go like, well, I'm more or less redefining shadows, especially up here in her above her head part. Not so much is down behind her back, but definitely up here by her head, because yeah, that stuff is looking kind of wonky. So yeah, just going in and reshaping and redefining those shadows. Alright, next, basically how I did with the shadows, I'm going to do with the lighted or the highlighted areas. I'm going to redefine the lighted areas. I just said that. Ugh. I'm sorry, I'm tired, y'all. But yeah, on the same layer, same overlay layer, where I put the shadows as well, I'm going to pick a lighter color of this purple, maybe like a lavenderish or whatever color or shade of purple, and I'm going to go in and start putting some more highlights down. And instead of them looking white, they're going to look like the color of the hair. They're going to be a brighter color, you know, a brighter shade of that purple, but they're not going to be like just starch white, and because that looks kind of off-putting. To me it does. So yeah, let's go in and start doing your highlights. And you can put a little bit towards the back, because like I said, as far as for this picture, this particular picture, the light source is coming from behind her. So yeah, light would cast, it would cast from behind, and the highlighted areas wouldn't be super duper bright anyway. There would be lighted areas that just wouldn't be that bright. And just a little bit on that very dark patch down there. That way you can tell, like, oh, it's hair down there, instead of just like a dark big blob behind her. It's her hair. It's just really, really deep set in that shadow back there. So yeah, this is all on the overlay layer, and I'm going to turn down the opacity somewhat, just a smidge. That way you can keep the shadows and the highlights you just made. And gonna lock it down, merge it down, and then I'm gonna go back with my acrylic brush And I'm gonna start grinding it in. Just grind it in, so grind it in. That sounds kind of dirty. Grind it in, girl. Let me grind it, boy. Let me grind it. Okay, I'll stop. I will stop. So yeah. Another thing I really love about this acrylic brush is that you can make like the parts of the hair look very natural, and you don't have to use that. Well, it's important to me, you don't have to use like a billion layers to do it. Like, I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but it looks like you're layering the hair, but it's on one layer, and you can, like, even though this is merged down on one layer, you can still like define your lights and your shadows and your highlights all on one layer, all with this one brush. And it blends, for me, it blends very well. It doesn't over blend, and it doesn't, I mean, okay, so you just go crazy with it, but for me it works very well. I really do like this brush. What is that? But yeah. Alrighty, so now that we've done our lights, highlights, shadows, and deeper set shadows, I don't even know if I'm using the correct term now. We've done all that, okay? We are going to open up a new layer. Yes, a new layer. And we're going to set it on luminosity. And we're going to pick the brightest shade of this bluish, violet, purplish color right before we hit that white line up there in the color sliding box. Go right there. And because I don't want it to be white, but I don't want it to be, obviously I don't want it to be dark. And I'm using just to put in these highlights right now. I'm using just a simple airbrush tool, whatever. And I'm just going around and I'm putting in some bright highlights, or brighter highlights, or highlights, just brighter than the other ones, yeah. And right now it's looking blotchy, and that's okay because, like I said, we're still working on it. Alright, play around with the opacity of the luminosity layer and dial it down some, Oh yeah, real quick, with an overlay layer, fill it with whatever color you want. Color I use is purple, and I played with the opacity of the layer, and then I merged it down. And well, before I merged it, I smoothed it in with like a blur watercolor tool. That way the hair still has its like color to it, pretty much. Alright, so this is where the other part of the magic comes in. Alright, see that little checkerboard box little thingy between your two colors over here above your brush? And I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry. I think it's called the transparent something like that. We're going to click on that while we're still using our acrylic brush, and we're going to go over our highlighted areas with that brush. And what it does like a really cool neat effect. People before I even do this, but I thought it was awesome, so I'm going to share it with you all. It's while it's on that setting, oh excuse me, and it has on like, you know, the middle flat bristle setting on it, it like goes through and erases some of the highlights without like erasing all the highlights. Like, instead of you going through with I guess a regular pencil brush or whatever and like meticulously going through, you can go through like one or two little swipes, and this brush does it for you. Again, really like this brush. Alright, so yeah, looking pretty good right about now. This is usually the part where I pretty much put in the highlights, the shadows, and stuff is going where I like it to go and it looks good to me. This is usually when I go through hair and just like put in those like extra little individual strands of hair that are like doing their own thing, and yeah, just gives the hair a little bit more, I don't know what kind of personality to it. Like her hair has a, you know how your hair just has like some strands sticking out in the other way. I mean, they don't look ugly, they're just sticking out wherever, and that's basically what I'm doing right now. Same with the same acrylic brush. It's going through and making some troops and swipes of individual hair. Yeah. Can y'all hear it? And those of you all who know my dog, yes, he's a good little guy. He definitely is on nerves. Yeah. So just going through and putting little strands of hair and redefining like how the hair flow is, and you know, doing those little I don't know, twist to it and making the hair look like, I don't know how to explain this. But yeah, just going through and like fine tuning. I could not think of that before. But yes, fine tuning the hair, okay? Fine tuning. Just go in and do all that. Alright, after you finish fine-tuning everything and putting in highlights and individual strands of hair and making it look all fancy, smanchy, you are pretty much done. Yay, first tutorial done. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helped. If it didn't help, I'm sorry. But if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comment section or any of the social media sites you can reach me at. It's fine. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks again for watching. Bye bye. And that's it.